Welcome to another episode of Bloom Masters TV. Remember, you can get this video and all sorts of fun facts on our website, bloommasters.com, or visit our YouTube channel at Bloom Masters to get more videos. Today we're going to be talking about Dianthus. Now, Dianthus is a great plant that we use in the landscape a lot here in the southeast. It is a plant that originated from Europe and Asia, and it has been bred since 1717 through horticulture and hybridized to get us a ton of different varieties and colors that we use today. Now, some fun facts about Dianthus. They can be used in food. Dianthus all have 5 petals on their blooms with serrated edges. The base is normally white, and then the flowers take on their color. Originally, all Dianthus were red with a white base. Now, that white base can be bitter, so normally when you hear of food, it's only the blooms that we're talking about, the petals, and none of the stems or leaves or anything like that. But this can be taken, it can be steeped and made into wine, it can be candied and used on cakes and things like that. It can also be used to make chartreuse, which is a French liqueur. So a lot of different things that we can use this for on the table, but what we really like it for is all of its colorful bloom power in the garden. So the 2 types we're going to discuss today are the Telstar Dianthus. There are a lot of other series like this. And then these are the Jolt Dianthus. And there's other series like this too, like the Amazons and some other bigger ones. Now, both of these plants need to be deadheaded in your landscape. If you come in here, I'll show you the difference between them. Now, when you're talking about a plant like the Telstars, and I got some really overgrown ones here for you to see, you'll see they're covered in blooms. So you really have to be careful to come in and just cut out the old blooms and not that bud. You see that bud right there? If I'd taken that out, we'd be waiting a long time for flowers. So you've only got to go through and cut out the bad blooms, leaving all those buds. Now, on the Jolts or the Amazons, you have much larger plumes. So same thing, you don't want to be cutting these buds out, but it's a lot easier because there's such a big bloom that you're cutting out. It just seems to be a little bit easier to visually see what you're cutting out. So once again, make sure you don't cut the buds out, just the blooms. Use a pair of scissors or cutters. Dianthus can be very woody, so if you try to break it with your hand, you'll end up probably ripping the flesh of the stem. You might get some disease and some problems in there. So really sharp, and only cut off the bloom and not the buds, and that'll really help your Dianthus to keep flushing. If you don't do that, these plants will be absolutely beautiful. You get about a 6-7 week huge flush, and then all of a sudden you'll try to figure out what happened to my flowers. Everything's falling apart. It's because you didn't deadhead, you didn't trigger that plant. If you don't cut those old blooms off and trigger that plant to set new buds and new flowers, it thinks it's done its job. It's going into seed mode. It's putting all of its energy into making seeds. It's not trying to make any more flowers. So, deadheading both of these. Dianthus can take a little bit of shade. Unlike some of our wintertime annuals, these can take a little shade. They are not going to bloom as heavy in the shade, but you're not going to kill the plant. You might see that first flush really strong, and then after you deadhead, the second flush in the shade just might not come back as strong. But we have very few winter annuals that can be put in the shade and can take a freeze. Dianthus is one of them. So, 1717, they've been around for a long time. They originated from Europe and Asia. The petals of the flowers can be used for food, and the plants themselves can take a little bit of shade. They are a cool weather plant, but these newer varieties, the Jolts, the Amazons, all the bigger, more aggressive ones, you've heard us talk about it in some of the other videos. The bigger, more aggressive plants seem to do better pushing into the heat and the rain of spring. So once again, if you're planting late in the winter season and you're a little worried about the rain and the heat coming on in spring, maybe stick to a bigger variety. I'll probably do a little bit better going into that season. But other than that, Dianthus is a great plant. It's used all over the southeast. So next time you're looking for something bright and colorful in your landscape, give Dianthus a try. Hope you enjoyed this video, and like I said, go to our website for all sorts of fun facts about Dianthus and other annuals in the southeast. Thanks and have a great day.